The next time you see older couples celebrate 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years wedding anniversary or marriage anniversary, please do ensure to wait and give them their accolades because they really deserve their flowers. Marital journey is a journey that actually requires a lot of effort, intentionality, and a lot of sacrifices. You need to put in the work to actually see it work, just like our spiritual race. So, and that was why I started this series with the topic on how to create a healthy and happy marriage. Over time, I've released about 3 videos where the first video I spoke about relating our marital journey to our spiritual journey. Yes, the parable of the sower. And that leads us to the 5 stages of marital satisfaction. We have the enchantment stage, disillusion, we have the obligation, we have the friendship, and then the love, that is the more matured love stage. If you haven't seen that video, it's up on the channel. And the second videos we talk about the toxic patterns that actually prevent people from moving from the disillusion stage to what? To the friendship stage, because the moment couples move from enchantment stage, it is easy for them to allow external disruptions to stop them, yes, to get them stopped at that particular point of obligation or disillusion, instead of them moving to the friendship stage or even the what? The more love or more matured love stage. So, and the third videos was where I spoke about the importance of emotional connection. I talked about the guidelines that is needed to actually establish emotional connection, because in marriage, emotional connection is something that it is paramount. It is important for every couples to establish emotional connection in order for them to survive the challenges that comes with marriage and even to stay longer in marriage. Yes, I know Christ is the solid rock, the foundation of all, but these are the ingredients that helps to keep the home what? To keep the home alive. So in this video, as I promised in the last video, yes, this is the fourth series, and in this particular series, I'm going to be talking to you about 6 great habits of a great marriage. Yes, 6 great habits. Of course, we won't be able to cover up these 6 in one video. So what I'm doing is we're going to be talking about one of the 6 today, and then in the subsequent videos we're going to have the remaining 5 being discussed. So hello everyone, welcome once again, or welcome back again. Yes, if you're joining the channel for the second time, welcome back again. If you're joining for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are the VVIP, and this is Empathy Connect YouTube channel. My name is Odrayo Blessing, and if you've been following us thus far, you will know that this is the first video we are releasing on this particular topic: how to create a healthy and happy marriage. So like I said, we are going to be discussing, or before then, if you haven't seen any of those 3 videos, you can come back to this and go over to watch the 3 videos on how to create a healthy and happy marriage. Then you can come back to this in order for you to have a greater comprehension of what we are talking about. So like what I said great marriages does not just exist. A lot of effort, intentionality, dedication, and commitment has been put into it. So in this video, we are discussing about one of the great habits of what? Of a good marriage. Yes, yes, that makes it great marriage. So one of it is self responsibility. You see, this self responsibility comes with a lot of points on that, and I'm going to be expanding them, elaborating on each of this point as we move forward. So the first point is, or let me, before I move to the point on that, let's talk about responsibility and let's talk about self. So self means me. Yes, me, I, myself, me. Yes. And responsibility means you're taking, how do I say it? Yes, you are responsible for yourself. Everything that happens in your life, you know that yes, you are in charge. That is, you are the driver of your own car. Nobody is driving it with you. Yes, that is self-responsibility. And under this is something like saying, I am responsible for my own actions. I take responsibility when things go wrong. I am responsible for my happiness. I'm responsible for my joy. I'm responsible for my actions. I take accountability. I don't blame my partner when things go wrong. Yes, I acknowledge my mistakes. That is self-responsibility. Knowing that okay, I am to care for myself. I am to take care of myself. That's self-responsibility. And that actually leads me to this particular Bible's verse that says, love your neighbor as yourself. Even the Bible knows that we have to love ourselves first before we can actually love some other persons. So the rate at which you love yourself is the way you can actually love other. If you take responsibility for your actions, then you will know that you have a responsibility for somebody else. Now, what am I saying? That will take me to the first point, which is responsibility to and responsibility for. Yes, for responsibility to. It's like you getting a job, and then of course, if you're applying for a job, there's usually a particular space where you have responsibility. Yes, you'll see a spot that these are the responsibility you have to carry it out. Exactly, that is a responsibility for, because I said responsibility for and responsibility to. So for that for, it means I will take that as a boss to what? To an employee or a staff. Yes, our responsibility for this organization is that we had to come to work, resume to work, carry out this accounting record of the organization. We had to feature this particular thing, do a lot of things in that accountability for your job requirement. These are the things you have to do. Why? It means for yourself, you have a responsibility for yourself. But when it comes to responsibility to your responsibility to your partner, it means it must, now we are going to add empathy to that for. You're going to add, compassion to that for, because you know that, when it comes to organization and a staff or an employee, there is this way that you know that you're under pressure to achieve a collective goal or a goal, because there is a target. It's like they've given us a target and this is what we need to work with. So now this target must be met before the year runs out. But when it comes to your partner, your responsibility to your partner, you know that there is no pressure. Yes, you empathize. Yes, there is empathy, there is compassion. You care for them just like you care for yourself, but this time around you are doing it with a lot of reactions and emotions. But if you are to say that you are responsible for your partner, you just want to fulfill your how will I say, your responsibilities. You want to serve them. Is this what we are doing in the house? Okay, let's get it done. You're not happy, do you need this? I will buy it for you. You're just making the relationship a kind of employee to employer relationship. And that is why I say self-responsibility. Yes, that is the first great habit. You should know that your mood should not be dependent on your spouses. You are responsible for your mood. If you are happy, you should know that you because don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that probably your spouse's reaction cannot trigger your unpleasant mood. Of course it can trigger it, which is even expected. Yes, it can trigger it, but I'm just saying that you should always be in control of your thoughts, of your actions, of your words, and every single thing that you do. Always be in control of it. Don't let their reaction cause mood swings to you. Now to the next point under self-responsibility is what? Victim or accountability. Under this word, I would say that this is way normal, like it is normal in relationship. Now for victim or accountability, just like the word said, a lot of marriages, you will see that anytime something's happened to a partner, yes, a particular person, you tend to blame. Yes, there is this blame game. You push it to your spouse. You caused this, you caused that. Why not see it as I caused it? Yes, If you had not reacted to that particular issue that way, it might not have not escalated. So why not take responsibility for your action? Don't hide under uh yeah, okay, let me just say accountability. Let me explain. Accountability is when something happens, when something goes wrong, you are accountable. You provide details of what happened, you apologize. It's not like you are doing a blame game. That's just the victim or accountability. No blame game, no proving smart, no acting smart, no cutting corners. That is what accountability means. Something goes wrong, oh, I am sorry, I actually did this, it was because of the way I reacted. There are a lot of situations whereby you have some people, it was maybe we are speaking now and then what you said actually hurt me, and then immediately I withdraw to myself. Later you are just like, why is she always quiet over little things? Whereas you've forgotten that there was a trigger that brought about my reaction. Yes, and that trigger is actually the word you spoke first. So I would advise couples going forward that you take accountability for your actions in the house. Don't make your spouse feel like the victim all the time. Yes, anytime an issue happens, your spouses will always be the victim. You will always find a way around it. You don't like to apologize. You cut corners. There is nothing that you've ever done wrong. Yes, they've even tagged this kind of people as narcissists. So for you to have a great marriage, you need to take responsibility for your actions. Anything that happens, know that you will hold yourself what accountable to that particular incident. Okay, that's the second point under self-responsibility. So the third point under self-responsibility is the relationship in your head. Calm down, I'm not abusing. You see, this relationship in your head, I remember before I got married, I have actually watched a lot of, is it Chinese or Kuchong Pyo? This series movie that is just love based. I'm trying to remember Philippine movie. We have a lot of movies like that that love is just, it feels natural in the movie. So I've imagined I have a certain relationship in my head, the way I want my marriage to go. And going into marriage, I went into that marriage with that particular relationship in my head without even telling my spouse about it. So you can imagine. So now you need to take responsibility for the relationship in your head. What do I mean? Know that the image you have in your head is not the same image in your husband's head. Not until you two come together, sit and share whatever the picture you have has the relationship in your head. So for you to not put pressure on your partner, or to not just get angry, to not just react absurd over something that your spouse is not aware of. Why? So it means take responsibility. Yes, wake up. That relationship in your head, you need to correct the way you see it. If you have a very bad relationship in your head, that is where the problem starts from. You need to correct it. If you have a good relationship in your head, you need to share it with your partner. You need to speak it out and, tell yourself that, okay, this is the picture I have in my head. And for it to actually come to reality, I need to ask my partner out, what is the kind of marriage that you've envisioned even before we met, or even now that we've met? Is there something that we need to work together on? That is self-responsibility. Yes, that is another point under self-responsibility, and that is how you see people that have great marriages. That is how they come about it. And another thing is under self-responsibility is take care of yourself. If you don't care for yourself, nobody will. This sounds like an harsh advice. You think, see, you need to take care of yourself. Know that you are responsible for eating good food. You're responsible to wear good clothes. Don't put pressure on your partner. Take care of yourself. You are just going to put your partner in a fixed situation because you are expecting a lot from them, and yet you're not communicating it. So you need to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Yes, you pray yourself, know that you are responsible for taking care of yourself, not your partner. I'm not saying your partner will not take care of you. Of course they will, but it is when you are able to care for yourself, that's when you'll be able to care for your partner. Because the Bible already completed the whole issue. It said, love your neighbor as yourself, and your husband is not even your neighbor. Okay, let me say your husband is your neighbor, but your husband is your spouse. And remember, two have become one. So what exactly are we dragging out when you know that you do what? You are responsible for taking care of yourself, and your partner is yourself. So you need to take care of yourself, okay? Communicate clearly what you want. That's it. If you need something, say it out. This is what I need. That's how to take care of yourself. Don't blame anybody for looking tattered, for looking unkept. Your hair needs to be done. You're waiting for your spouse to. No, you're not taking care of yourself, because it is when you are able to care for yourself, that's when you'll be able to care for your partner. And then the fifth point also under self-responsibility is, thou shalt not take offense. You see, the Bible is complete, very, very complete. Thou shalt not take offense is part of, see, is when you are responsible for your mood and everything. You can easily tell yourself, I think it was my reaction that triggered it, maybe I shouldn't have reacted that way. Then you acknowledge it, right? That's when you can stop taking offense. So if you are this kind of person and you are in marriage, you take offense easily. Why? Everything, because you are not responsible for yourself. So you push everything to your partner. Thou shall not take offense. Thou shall not take offense. Even when offense is knocking at your door through your spouse, don't take offense. Instead, communicate expressly. Let him or her know what exactly is wrong at the moment, what you need to talk about, what you need to do, what you need to say. Express, be free. There is a law. Thou shalt not take offense. Yes, that's the fifth point under self-responsibility. It helps to maintain your sanity in marriage. It helps to, it gives you this peace of mind and free will. There is this way that it just gives you this kind of peace, because you are not taking offense. Instead of taking the offense, you rather speak out, you rather communicate, you rather tell them, oh, I think this or this, and you don't start with a harsh tone. You remember what we said in the last. You start with a soft tone, okay? Those are the guidelines to establish a what emotional connection. Start with a soft tone. Realize it's not about you. Yes, sometimes it might be about you, but sometimes it can also not be about you. Offer yourself some empathy. Offer your partner some empathy. If you see, the Bible that says love yourself, love your neighbor as yourself is right though. Because if you are compassionate towards yourself, you'll be compassionate towards your neighbor. And nobody's above mistake. If you learn that early in marriage, then you'll be able to offer some grace to your what? To your partner. And then the last one is self emotional regulation. Emotional regulation. Emotional regulation means the ability to regulate yourself emotionally. And we talked about emotions as feelings, right? And then regulation means you can control. So now, if your emotions are on the high side, discover yourself. What exactly would you do when when you are under pressure? Will you pray? Do you listen to music? Do you sing? Do you write in your diary? Do you have friends that you relate to? Control your emotions. It's not your spouse that will regulate your emotions. So all this anger that you are just trying to disrupt the marriage, or think that it's all about you. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You should be responsible for yourself. Be responsible for yourself. Be responsible for yourself. Be responsible to regulate your emotions. Listen to music. Discover yourself. What are the things that I love doing? Before the marriage, you exist. Before the marriage, you exist. Before meeting your spouse, you exist. So you should understand those things that you do before you met them. Is it movie that you love watching that can actually calm you anytime you feel like, oh, things are not going the way it should go financially? Do you just blast out your spouse? No. When you were single, what were you doing when things don't go well? You pray. When things are not going, you pray, you talk to God, talk to your parents, call this, you have a discussion. So why is it that when you're married, you tend to push all the pressure on your spouse? No, it's not done that way. I'm sorry, I'm getting, is it test up or the whole thing is just taking much of my energy. But I just want you to know that a life already existed before marriage. And of course, you were responsible for yourself, and your partner also was responsible for himself before you guys met. So now that you have met, you still do not neglect that part. You still have to carry on that mindset that you're responsible to control your emotions, to regulate your emotions. You are not going to play victim in your marriage. You're going to be accountable. Yes, you're going to own up to your mistakes. You're going to, take blame for whatever that goes wrong without pushing into the other. You're going to take care of yourself, take care of your body. You're going to communicate clearly the relationship in your head. And if it's a bad one, you're going to correct it. So that's all I've said under this self-responsibility, which is one of the great habits of a great and happy marriage. So if you have any question, please remember to drop it in the comment section. If you haven't seen other videos, I'm saying it again, you won't want to miss out on them, okay? And if there is anything you would love us to talk about, please drop it also in the comment section. If you have not subscribed, please ensure you subscribe, because I am concluding this particular self-responsibility. Yes, is a sub point. Yes, it's one of the great habits of what? Of a happy marriage. And trust me, in the next video, I'm going to be talking about the second habit of a great marriage. And you will not want to miss it, because the second habit is one thing that every marriages that I've seen they struggle with because of familiarity. And I hope you don't miss out on that in my next video. Please, as we conclude this video, I would love you to actually to make a resolution in your mind that going forward you will be responsible for you, and you're going to love your neighbor as yourself. That is, you're going to love your spouse as yourself. So if you find this video worthy, again, don't forget to like, okay? Like, share with someone that needs to watch it. Even if it's your partner, please share with them, and ensure you pray. Yes, prayer goes a long way. Study the scriptures too. It helps expand our knowledge. It gives us a great insight, a deep insight into the matters of life. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, okay? I remain Odwan, your blessing, and I love you. May our home be a role model to many, in Jesus' name. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.